Okay, I think we are live. So we can get started. Welcome. I am going to call this meeting to order, and we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for being here tonight on our last PTA meeting of the semester. It's going to be kind of just a wrap up of all the things that we had going on this year. Tonight we have the PTA Board of Directors to share updates on things that have happened since we saw you last and what we have going on through the rest of the year. And then we have Molly Gibney on to do our principal update. Dr. Ehrlich is attending a conference out of town. But before we get started, we're going to start with some recognition of community members because, as always, our community is amazing. The first people that we want to thank and recognize are the people who took the time and were able to attend our in-person PTA membership meeting last month. It was really great to have an in-person meeting for the first time since COVID, and we had quite a great turnout. So if you were in attendance, thank you so much for coming, and we hope it was worthwhile. We also want to thank Officer Festi and Karin and Tanya from Create Outcomes. Thank you for coming and sharing your time out of your evening to come and speak to our community. We also want to recognize anyone who helped with Trunk or Treat, whether you donated a bag of candy to your classroom or you volunteered at the event, if you purchased pizza from concessions, or if you hosted a trunk. You're all greatly appreciated. We couldn't do it without all of you. So thank you so much for showing up for us as always, especially our staff members who hosted trunks. I know that you worked all day long and then you were there hosting trunks as well, but we are always so appreciative when staff show up to support our events. And then the last people we want to recognize this round are any of the volunteers that helped with our fun run celebration for our pizza party fun event on November 3rd. So there were quite a few volunteers who showed up. They took pictures, they helped wrangle kids, and they helped make it a really special day for all of those kiddos. So I appreciate everyone who took the time to do that. With all of those recognitions, we are going to move into our action item, which is the approval of the minutes from October 19th. The minutes from October 19th were distributed for your review. I haven't received any corrections or additions to the minutes. So with that, I will take a first to pass the minutes.
I'll second.
Perfect. I only heard a second. Maybe there was a first.
I'll first.
Okay, thank you. I was like, I only heard the second, but maybe it's my audio. I'm not sure. Okay. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Molly Gibney and let her do all of her principal updates.
All right. Hello, everyone. So great to see everyone out there. So I just wanted to let you know, Dr. Ehrlich, as Jonah mentioned, she is on a trip this week. She's attending the National Association of Gifted Children Conference. And so she just asked me to step in on her behalf tonight. So in terms of some updates that we have, first of all, our cross-country season ended for our middle school boys and girls, and it was a huge success. We had almost 45 students participate. It was an incredible, just very positive experience for all of the students. Right now, we are currently in the middle of middle school girls basketball season. That's going on right now. Their next home game is scheduled for December 1st. That evening, we will be playing STEM Lab. The first game will be at 6:15 that evening. And that is our sixth grade girls will be playing that night. And then at 7:15, p.m. that same night, our 7th and 8th grade girls team will be playing. We really encourage everyone who's interested. You are all welcome to attend and join in the school spirit. It's just like cross country, this basketball season has been incredibly positive, and just to see the girls' enthusiasm and excitement around the sport has been a true joy. We are also in the middle of planning for the upcoming middle school boys basketball season. That season kicks off February 13th through mid-April. We are in the planning stages. We actually sent out a survey to gauge interest to all of our middle school boys and their parents, and we had over 50 responses, which is just fabulous. So we're looking forward to having that sport coming up soon. Another point that we really wanted to lift up tonight is that Dignity Day at our middle school also went very well yesterday. Our staff and students were both very excited about that. For those of you that don't know, for Dignity Day, the Colorado Shakespeare Festival brought in actors and they performed skits from the play, The Merchant of Venice. And those skits from that play focused on the importance of treating others with dignity and respect, the need for active inclusion, and opportunities to be an upstander. Then after those plays were performed, there were 3 different sessions that were held before lunch with our students. All of the students in middle school were mixed in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, mixed together. Their first session focused on their identity, and each student got the opportunity to make their own self-portrait. In the second session, that was focused on experiences around treating others with dignity. The third session was actually with some of the actors from the Colorado Shakespeare Festival, and they actually role-played different scenarios around being an upstander. And then the culminating session, which happened after lunch, was focused on students working in groups to create a video related to the theme of dignity. And then those videos will be shared out with the rest of the students in the school through morning announcements. So just a very positive experience for all. Another update that happened recently, which was a lot of fun, was our 2nd grade hosted their celebration of learning. And on that night, they showcased writing around topics in which the students considered themselves to be experts. And so the students also recorded their voices, reading their writings. They uploaded it to Google Drive, and then those recordings of them reading their writing was actually accessible via a QR code. So very, very fun in terms of that. We're also looking forward to our iSTEM fair, which is scheduled on November 29th. All of our 6th grade students are actually creating projects for the iSTEM fair, as well as any other student throughout the school that wanted to participate in that. So the iSTEM fair is our school's version of a science fair, but with invention thrown in, as well as science, technology, engineering, and math. So we're excited about that. And then the last thing is just a reminder that as temperatures drop, be sure to send your child to school with their coats, as we will continue to go outside as much as the weather will allow us to. So just a reminder around that. So thank you, PTA, for all that you gals and gentlemen do, for everything. You're so incredibly supportive, and we're so grateful for you.
Thank you for all of those updates. It sounds like you guys are doing so many fun things. All of the new middle school things are like incredible. Great additions. And then I remember when my son did the 2nd grade celebration of learning last year. So that's really cool. I'm glad those parents got to experience that as well.
Thank you.
All right, so we are going to move on to our treasurer report and budget vote. Unfortunately, our treasurer can't be here tonight, so I will share her notes. We started October with a balance of $137,551.69. We ended October on the 31st with a balance of $126,087.42. The largest expense that we had in October was a check to our apparel company, and that went for all of the Fun Run t-shirts and all of the Spirit Wear t-shirts. That total was $8,990.22. And then on top of that, we just had our regular expenses for teacher grants, field trips, that kind of thing. Our past vote that we did in October, the volunteer budget increase passed with a 98% approval. So the new volunteer appreciation budget is $550. The PTA expense vote passed with 100% approval. So the PTA expense budget is now $2,050. Robotics was added as a line to the budget so we could track the money that was coming in from pizza sales from Trunk or Treat. And that was just reconciled. And the proceeds from the concessions was $664.31. So all of that money will go to the new middle school robotics club. Our taxes for the 2021-2022 school year have been filed, and our fiscal year has been updated. So our fiscal year is now from July 1st through June 30th. We have two new votes for our budget to go over tonight. I will go over the first, and then our Vice President Jamie will go over the second. So the first budget item that we will be voting on is in the technology budget. Mrs. Spino contacts all the companies at the end of the school year and gets an estimate of what all of the apps will cost. And then that's what we write the budget based on. And then once the fall rolls around, sometimes those actual costs are a little bit different. So you will see all of this information in the vote that we send out, but just to go over it really quickly, Pebble Go was $45 over the budgeted amount. Brain Pop and Brain Pop Junior were $1,050 over the budgeted amount. Raz Kids A to Z was $400 over the budgeted amount. Vocabulary A to Z was exactly the same amount, so no difference. And then Mystery Science was $1,499 under budget, and that's because Adams 12 picked up that cost. So with all of these changes, the actual technology budget is still $55 under budget. Mrs. Spino also ordered Raz Kids A to Z for 8 teachers, but she only needed 5 teachers. So she reached out to Raz Kids, and they have extended our license for Raz Kids for those 5 teachers through the next school year. So that overage was just transferred to next year. So that won't be an expense for next year. So essentially the vote for the technology budget is just to approve the changes. There is no overage. We're $55 under budget, but because our budget is, it specifies the amounts for each of the apps, we need to vote on the changes. And now our Vice President, Jamie, will go over the shed vote.
Hi. So you may or may not know that the PTA pays for a storage space at a public storage unit. It is a 5x10 space that we have to access via gate and driving. We pay $108 a month for that storage space, which is about $1,296 annually. And that's actually an increase of almost $250. It's an increase of $249 from the rate that we were paying last year for the same space. We anticipate that the rental fee is going to continue to increase, and we've run into some challenges as far as items that we are purchasing for these events that we're throwing going missing. Or not being able to be found because they're going home with various people. And then maybe those people aren't on the PTA again the next year. And so we're incurring some cost by not having a single place for everything to go, and it's not easily accessed because you need a key and we only have a couple. anyway, so it's been a big issue. And so we wanted to propose a shed on property. It would go kind of over by where the shed is by the first and second grade doors. Currently, just using that same cement pad and just putting another shed there for the PTA to use. And that way we would always have access. It would make it so that things don't go missing. We have easier access to it. It makes setup and cleanup a lot easier. And so one of the things that we ran into, one of the challenges, is that Adams 12 will not permit us to build a shed without going through their contractors. And so we put together a proposal. We had some people, some liaisons come out and help us navigate like what that would look like and what that would cost. And so we would like to install that PTA shed on Hulstrom property. And it would be an 8x12 tough shed, because that's the one that Adams 12 approved, placed in by Adams 12 contractors, and it would be $5,429. We've explored the cost saving options, and this is the lowest price option for a prefab shed that meets the district standards. And then once the shed is installed, it will become Adams 12 property. And then the exterior will be maintained by Adams 12. And so we're going to be sending out a vote as to whether or not you will approve the expense for $5,429 for that shed. And it will just stay there for the lifetime. No more increases and no more problems that we've been facing.
Thank you. So if anybody has questions on any of those votes, you can share that into the chat on YouTube or on Facebook, and we can address those. If you have questions after this meeting has ended live, please email me at jonna.green@hulstrompta.org. My name is spelled Jonna and green like the color. And with that, we are going to move on to our PTA updates. So the winners from our in-person meeting, we had mentioned it just at the end. We had everybody sign in so we could take attendance, and then we randomly drew numbers from the list, and we pulled 2 winners, and they're going to win a Hulstrom swag pack with the stuff that we have available. And so the winners are Carrie Andrews and Brandy Stanton. So I will email both of you and coordinate a pickup for your prizes. So thank you for attending. I'm going to be sending out a trunk or treat feedback survey with the vote tonight. We really appreciated all of the feedback that we got on the barbecue and the fun run and concessions leading into trunk or treat. We got some great feedback. I appreciate the time that you took to do that, because it helps us make our events better in the future. And so there will be a short one, and it's just for trunk or treat. Friday is Shine Bright Spirit Day. So the last Friday of every month, we try to go all out with our spirit wear. And because of the holiday, we are going to do it this Friday. And then I'm going to let Jamie share information on our upcoming bazaar.
I am so excited for this bazaar. We are running it on Saturday, December 3rd. Hopefully you've been getting the flyers and the information coming home. We are looking for vendors still. They can be student makers, adult makers, staff can also be a vendor. We're also really hoping to find families who may celebrate a little bit differently than the norm in the US. So lots of cultures and lots of world diversity at our school, and we would just love to be able to showcase that and share it with the community. And that could be anything. It could be a special tradition that you have, a game that you might play. It could be a food that you enjoy. There are so many different ways to celebrate, and so we would love it if you would sign up. We are looking. So hopefully if you have any questions, or if you're concerned that what you have to offer might not be what we're looking for. It is. And also please email Jonna or myself, or you can ask questions here in the chat. If you're interested, we would absolutely love to have you. So on December 3rd, there's going to be vendors. Please bring your kiddos. The stuff that is there for sale should be inexpensive so that they can do some Christmas shopping for their family members, and be able to give gifts on Christmas as well, if Christmas is what you celebrate. And there should be story time by staff and teachers. And there's going to be things like hot chocolate and candy canes and things like that. It should just be a really fun day for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. We are really excited about it. Jamie and I've been working on this. It's been an idea that we've been talking about for over a year. So we're excited to see it come to fruition. Also at the bazaar will be the giving tree. We are currently accepting nominations for families who could use a little extra boost this holiday season. Last year, we were able to support families through our giving tree, and we just want to continue to grow and expand this program. We know that, with inflation, the holidays are tight this year. And so if you know a family, it could be, a Hulstrom family, it could be a Hulstrom staff, anyone that you think could use an extra boost, just email Dr. Ehrlich. Everything is kept confidential. There's a very limited amount of staff who will know the list of people who are nominated. And we just want to brighten their holiday season. So send in your nominations, and then starting on the 3rd, you can pull an ornament from the giving tree. Mr. Hedberg is having his students decorate some ornaments to put on the tree, which is really exciting. But you can come in and pull a name off the tree and shop for them for the holidays. Once you pull a name, you'll get all of the information as far as when to bring your stuff back to the school. And the giving tree will run from December 3rd through the 9th. I do want to address the question that came into the chat before we move to fundraising. So the question was, what does it mean for the district to own the shed that the PTA purchases? So essentially, because it is on Adams 12 property, we as a PTA are just funding it, but it will become Adams 12 property. And then essentially the school is loaning it to us. That means it is covered by Adams 12 insurance. It is covered by Adams 12 maintenance. It will not be PTA property. It will be Adams 12 property. It will belong to Hulstrom. And then administration will loan it to us essentially. But if you have any other questions, please let me know. And we'll keep an eye on the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to fundraising, and they can share their updates with everyone.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I think my comments will be relatively brief. As Jonna mentioned at the start of the meeting, we held our Party Bus Pizza Party about 2 weeks ago, and for the students, and it was so much fun. They really enjoyed themselves, and it was a great treat, and we were really happy to put that on for them. As far as prize items, those have been ordered. It's taken some time for them to be delivered. So they will actually be distributed to students after Thanksgiving break. Another item that I just wanted to bring up quickly, with holiday shopping and gift giving just around the corner, I wanted to share 2 programs that we are running or that we have participated in. The first is called Give Backs. It's actually a cash back program. You can either download the Give Backs app, or you can access through your computer desktop. And so whenever you shop online, whether it's a large retailer or even some smaller local retailers, you can earn up to 5% given the retailer of cash back for yourself on any everyday purchase. And this could be very helpful, particularly during the holidays. And our school will receive a donation of up to 1% for every time you shop. So please consider signing up for givebacks. We'll also receive a $5 donation for each new active supporter. So please consider signing up. We'll have detailed information on how to do so in our next newsletter. The other program that you may or may not be familiar with, we've done a couple years now. It's formerly known as Shop with Script. They've rebranded. It's called Raise Right. And this is basically our gift card script program. So you can log on to the Raise Right website and you can shop for gift cards, either physical or e-gift cards from America's most popular retailers, and you can use them as presents or you can use them yourself for holiday giving, holiday shopping. And when you purchase these gift cards through the Raise Right program, a percentage of the value of the gift card goes back to Hulstrom. So another way to help out the school. Again, details about Raise Right will also be included in the next newsletter. That's about it.
Awesome. Thank you. I know my kids are waiting to get their prizes so patiently. So they are going to be so excited when they get back from break. It'll be a nice little boost right before the end of the semester.
Like an early Christmas present.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. I'm going to pass it to Sabina, and she's going to share some information for the next school year for new families.
Hi, I just wanted to let you just remind the community that open enrollment is opening up in December, and Hulstrom will be having 3 information nights. Those are going to be, unlike last year, there's going to be 3. So there's going to be one on December 6th, which is going to be for K through 8. And then in January, there will be 2 of them. One is going to be on the 11th from 6 to 8 p.m. And that's for incoming K through 5th graders. And then there is going to be one on the 25th from 6 to 8, which is going to be for middle schoolers. And then that also includes all 5th grade families that are going to be going into middle school. So if you know of anybody who is interested in Hulstrom, please encourage them to come to the information nights. And also they can reach out to me if they have any other questions or, I don't know, want to take a tour of the school or anything else like that. So I hope you will spread the word so that we can get some more fabulous families here at Hulstrom.
Awesome. Thank you. That is all of the updates that we have for you. I will give it just a couple of minutes for questions to roll in, but we kept it pretty short and sweet this meeting. While I'm waiting for questions, I did want to mention our next meeting will be Wednesday, March 15th at 6:15. It will be another in-person meeting. Some of the speakers that we have coming in next semester we're trying to have a presentation from our technology teachers, just talking about parenting in this technology world that is ever changing. So just talking about online safety, ways that you can track your kids, and how to keep them safe, and things like that. We're also going to have the 5-Star Education Foundation come in and talk about what they do for the district, some of the programs that they offer. But we're always looking for speaker ideas. So if you have a topic that you're really interested in learning about, if you have any connections or suggestions, please email them over. But I don't see any questions in the chat. So I think with that, we are going to end this meeting. As always, if you have any questions, please email us. You can find all of our contact information on our website, which is hulstrompta.memberhub.com, or you can find our contact information through the school. But But other than that, we'll see you in March. I hope you guys have a great night. We hope to see you on December 3rd at our bazaar, and have a great holiday season.